Welcome to my channel Techify with Adil. Okay, so today we will be seeing a very interesting topic, MS Access. So usually so far we have seen a lot of videos about MS Excel. So there is MS Access. So that's the other application like most of us maybe have used, and many I think have not used this so far. In this video I'll be telling you what is the difference between MS Excel and MS Access, because both looks very similar. Like whoever has worked with MS Access or just even have opened created something into it would have felt like both looks very similar. But what is the reason of Microsoft bringing in MS Access? Because the MS Excel was the first tool introduced by Microsoft. Then like around like 2-3 years there was MS Access introduced. So we will see what is the purpose of the MS Access into the market, then how to do queries. That's a very important thing. When you have a very mass of data, you can use the query to categorize it, to create criteria. By that you can filter it, which usually we will not be able to do with the Excel only. So we will see all these things in our video today.
Okay, in general, like MS Access with MS Access, right? So both will looks very similar. So we will see the differences here and also the similarities. So the basic thing, both are used to deal with data. So it both can we do data analysis. With both we can arrange the data, and modeling pivot we can do with both the tools. But why does we have because Excel is the one which first came in, so why do we need MS Access? Both can deal with large amount of data. So we can run queries, we can do analysis, and also both we can do all kind of calculations. So we can put some conditions, so it return back with the data we need. So both can do the all these three major things which we usually do in the Excel and MS Access. Then Access is better when you have a very big data, like you have very large amount of data in with multiple scenarios, like multiple conditions. So usually when we talk about the asset management or for maintaining the notebook details, machine details, right? So we will have a lot of conditions, like different department, the user can be from different department, different locations, or the model of the notebook, or the OS the notebook is using, the leasing dates, and like this we might have a lot of conditions. So when we have like this kind of scenarios, MS Access will be more helpful while dealing with those kind of datas. Then in Excel, right, it's generally is very good analyzing tool. So when you want to analyze it, prepare the data into a good chart, you want to present it with some kind of presentations in meetings, you want to analyze, get the output, present it, then we should go for Excel. Just when you're going to deal with the managing or organizing the data, we want to have some lookouts from a large number of data which we are going to which are holding, then we go for Access. This is very very basic thing. And secondly, MS Access, right, the one of the big advantage of that is we can use that with the queries for easily set up queries. So in the people who use the SQL might know, like SQL you can code to bring up the to analyze the data. It will fetch the data for you based on the conditions you put in, based on the SQL code you put in. So similarly with MS Access, you can also create with the one we will see later in the later in our in the session. So generally we can use the same SQL queries in MS Access to draw the data when you have multiple conditions, because in MS Excel we can do that, use the filter option. So use filter option to filter it out. But what when we will have the problem is, for example, you have a large of data, like an asset managing data then you have to filter it out when the conditions overlap. Like you the one I'll show you, which for more understanding, for when the conditions overlap, then you will not be able to use the filter more accurately. In those cases, this query in access is more helpful, because if the data is smaller, so already before you do your filtering, so that based on that you can decide. But when the data is very large, very big, you won't know where which thing overlaps, so we will not be very sure about our output. So in those places it's better we go with the MS Access. Okay, so here, say I have an example data sheet here. So this is my data, so I can, as I mentioned before, so I just can filter my data, whatever. Say example, I need the notebooks related to Tampines, only the location of the user in Tampines. Then I can, if I want to do the SD, then I can. So we're going to filter it. This is on the simpler filter cases. But when I have the filtering with overlapping, because once I filter the Tampines, all the other locations not going to show me out. Then if I have another condition of I want to see the device ID that starts with 123, then I will not be able to filter, because it's going to show me only the device ID start with 123 from Tampines only, because I already filtered the first one. So once you do the first step of filtering, the rest all you will not able to have if you have an additional condition. So that's very common in filtering part. So here so this is the thing. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to show you in Excel, MS Access, how to do a normal query, then how to do query with multiple data sheets. When you have a single data sheet, how to query it, and when you have multiple data sheets, how to create a chain and create an output from that. Okay, so here we open MS Access. I open a blank sheet. This is for asset management. So we will save it in my material. Okay, so this will be your blank MS Access datasheet page. So here I'm going to pull in data. So this is your resource file access. So I'm going to take the data from my access. So my data is over here. Set. So click OK. Then I have multiple sheets, so it asks me to choose the sheet. So I'll take first sheet now, sheet 1. Then so here you can see this is the number of rows in the MS Access. So it's asking you to confirm, because we have a header here, so we need to make sure the first row is a header, so the data starts from the first of our data as well. So next, then it will have it just double confirms, like this is the field name and this is the index. Yes. Then if you don't have your serial number, it will actually give you the ID in the field name of ID. It will give you the numbers, but actually we have our own, so we can just use that. If in case if your serial number is somewhere else, so you can still choose as well. Like if your ID, your primary key is on some other column, you can choose as well. Okay, next, then this one you can name as sheet 1 as well. So just leave it, close. So you have your sheet here. So you have your sheet here ready. So even you want to add something, you want to edit, you can do that as how we do generally in our Excel. So now we will import all the 3 sheets first, then we will start doing the exercise. So now sheet 2 with the same conditions, and choose my primary key and finish, close. Now we are going to import the third sheet 3, open, choose the sheet 3, okay. So yeah, we have pulled in the data already. So first we will see how to do a query within the data sheet. So within here, so here you can see all kind of tools as normally you see in your Excel. You can see the lot of data here as well. So you go to create, then in the create you see query design. Here just click on the query design, then you'll get this design page. So you have to pull in the data, which data you're going to be using. So here I'll be using my sheet 1. So just add the sheet 1. So which is the data you will be creating the query. So here I want to create query based on location. Then I want to include department, and the output I want from all the other data. So based on the location and department conditions, I want all the outputs. So here criteria location is I want as Tampines, then department I want it as ESD. So here I just want all my things, so I just run. So you will get the query. So you can just create any number of conditions. So this one you go back to design view, then here again you want something else like host name or any other conditions, you can just drag down, then you can put in the criteria here, then it will help you to filter out. So this is when you do with query within the data sheet. Now we are going to do a query with three data sheets. Like we have data sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So we are going to create. So here we go again, query design. So we create a new query here. So here I'm going to add all the three sheets, actually 1, 2, 3 here. So it generally it has a default connection which we are going to remove. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want all this details to be in my output, but the connection I want is from this device ID. Okay, then the lease end, so like this. Okay, so what's here is I have datasheet 1 which has username, device ID, host name, location and department. This is one data I have from maybe from a particular team. Then I have another data sheet which has the device ID and which has the lease ending date only. Maybe this is PC factory, for example. Our hardware team, they have these details usually when they procure. They have in some companies it will be a procurement team who has these details, and this is a common detail, all the details we have. and here is device id and what is the status of that id. Maybe this is the team that allocates the notebook to the PC request team or something like that, who allocates a notebook for the user, so they will have the status of the details. So I have these details of the notebook. I'm connecting it. I want to know the lease ending, and from the lease ending I want to know the status. So it's this how connected. So I'm going to bring in the lease ending as one condition and status as one condition. So here I can show you what is actually in the data sheet 2. Data sheet 2, it has a lease end date, say here 25/7/2025, and then 12/8/2025. Then here I ask the device ID with the location, like PC factory. Like PC factory means the notebook is in the store, it's not with the user. The other status is with user. So I want to know all the details of the notebooks that's ending lease on this particular date. That's 1 year ahead, 1 year later, that's ending lease on July 25 with their current status also. So we go back to our Excel. So here we fill in our criteria. So it's 25 July 2025. That's a condition we put in, and the status is with user as a condition. So I want all these details, but the notebook lease ending only should be from here, and the status of the notebooks are with the user one. So this is the condition we have mapped from sheet 1 to sheet 2. Sheet 2 this based on device ID mapping. So it will check the details based on the device ID. So it will map all the 3 sheets based on device ID. So we are going to run it and we get this output. So you see all the status will be user with user. So we have only this much of notebooks that ending lease on July 25, and those are with the user. So very easily we can connect. So this is a simple example which looks very simple for us. Like when we have a very large data like 5,000 notebooks, 4,000 machines or 4,000 devices we have, then we need to connect it based on multiple scenarios. Like you want only the marketing department that located in a particular location, say Woodlands, with ending lease and with another status. Some companies might have multiple status, like we'll have in the store or with the department not in use, and in the used only for testing purpose. Like they have multiple status scenarios. So you have a very big conditions to develop. So in those cases it's very easy. It's a design view. Just go design view, you just link everything together. That's all. You just link everything together, then you should be able to get the output very easily. So this is actually the query code. Like if you know to write the query code, you straight away can write it. If not, then you just use the design view. No need to know the codings. You just want to learn. Even after you create, right, you just go here, you can learn from here how to write the SQL query, like how to write the codes for this query.
Okay, hope you all like the video. Please share and subscribe to my channel Techify with Adil. Please share the channel with your friends so others also will get benefited by this. See you in another video soon. Thank you.